Hello everyone, I am Julian Moffit and welcome back to NOBULL. Been a long week. There's a couple things that I want you to take away from this week. One, I kind of want to go from the beginning of Trump's immigration plan to where we are at now. While he's been attacking illegal immigration, I want you to know the things that he's been doing as far as legal immigration goes. Also, I want to get into, it seems like we've had a collapse with talks go, as far as talks go with North Korea. So I want to get into that. And lastly, I want to get into what a delegation of Republican senators were doing on the 4th of July when everybody else was celebrating America's independence. So stick around and we'll get into all of that here shortly. All right, everyone. So when Trump got elected, we all know from the time that he came down the escalator saying that we needed to stop illegal immigration, Mexicans, rapists, and murderers, and everything of that nature. Fast forward to right after his inauguration, we had the implementation of the first travel ban, which restricted movements from a whole litany of Muslim majority countries. Well, that was fought in court and it got knocked down to the travel ban that it is today, which isn't necessarily so stout when it comes to the Muslim majority countries. It also restricts countries such as Venezuela and North Korea. But it had to go through a whole bunch of court processes in order for that to happen. The things that I want you to take away from what's going on with Trump's fight against immigration is not just the aspect of him fighting illegal immigration. It's also the aspect of him marring and fighting against legal immigration. We can start with the DACA program that Obama instituted. Now, mind you, it wasn't completely legal, but as a person who is saying that they want to help the DACA kids, help the dreamers, his actions, and be very aware, there was a lot of back and forth going on politically at the time. Democrats blaming Republicans, Republicans blaming Democrats. We also had a bunch of government shutdowns, I think about 3 in a span of 6 to 8 months or so. That went along with that process. But the reason why that happened is because Donald Trump had ended DACA. He cut off the process for which allowed it to be legal, which put a lot of those people, 800,000 something plus, and it put them in legal turmoil. They were kind of just stuck in the middle. Also, as of late, Donald Trump has ended a program in which Bush Jr. started, to where people were actually able to immigrate into this country, and they were actually able to go into the army in order to gain a path to citizenship. Now, quietly, the army has been discharging some of those people, and we still had no answer for why that is. Not only that, we've taken protections away from refugees that have been here for more than at least 20 years, in a lot of instances. I want you to go look at what Donald Trump's immigration plan is. I want you to go look at how he seeks to cut legal immigration while saying he wants to fight illegal immigration. Now, as far as the economy goes, our economy is doing well at this point. So well, in fact, to where people are saying there's not enough people to go around for the jobs that we have had created in the market. Now, for a person who is seeking to strengthen our market or strengthen our economy, why would he be attacking those legal routes of immigration? Just had a report come out that said the legal immigration process had stalled so much from 2016 to now that we had over about 800,000 to 900,000 people that were waiting for to become citizens of America. They'd gone through the application process, And at that point, for whatever reason, those processes installed. That process used to sit at around about 300,000 people, give or take, every year. But for whatever reason, it had ballooned up to that amount. I want you to look at all those things, and I want you not to look at them in a vacuum, but all together. And ask yourself, for a person who touts being so strong on illegal immigration and demonizes the people that way he does when it comes to illegal immigration, why then would he be removing these protections for even American citizens? Lastly, he started a denaturalization task force in order to find people who have become naturalized citizens and to somehow figure out a way to take their legal status away and eventually get them deported. With all that's going on the border right now, and the fact that we know this administration didn't have a plan for a way to get these children back to their parents, you can look that up right now. DHS officials have said in some cases that minors' records have been destroyed or lost somehow. Kids have been actually deported without their parents. Parents have been told through lawsuits, you can look these up, that they were never going to see their kids again and that their kid was going to get adopted. This was before the media even blew up about his zero tolerance policy. So just mind you, ask yourself why these things are happening. Ask yourself, for an economy that's going through a trade war right now, why we wouldn't allow these people into our country if they're doing it the right way. Just think about that. All right, everyone. So last time that we were here, I showed you some satellite imaging that U.S. officials had said that it seemed like North Korea was rapidly making improvements to some nuclear facilities that they had. Well, this week, Donald Trump sent Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to North Korea to try to get a timeline for when we were going to start seeing some denuclearization and to kind of hammer out the facts on the deal that Trump and Kim Jong-un signed at the summit in June. Long story short, it seems that all went awry. And unfortunately, we don't necessarily know what happened because we're getting one story from our administration and another story from North Korea's administration. Pompeo came back and said that the talks were progressive and we'll just see what's going on. And until everything happens, we'll still be instituting sanctions, extremely tough sanctions. Now, North Korea, their officials, when asked about what happened, they said that the talks were actually regrettable and that the United States was using thug-like tactics in order to try to unilaterally denuclearize a sovereign state, meaning themselves, North Korea. So, as far as now goes, we don't have missiles launching up into the air. We don't have Trump calling Kim Jong-un little rocket man. We don't have Kim Jong-un calling Trump dotard. But in the meantime, what we do have is a complete and utter lack of understanding for what is going to happen here forward. And for now, what we do also have is apparently Trump making a bunch of concessions, like not having the military games or exercises that we practice upcoming in August, and also China not willing to help us as far as instituting sanctions on North Korea. So we're at an impasse. We don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Hopefully it all won't go haywire within the coming months, but we'll have to see. And I think the Trump-Putin summit is going to play a lot into that. So stay tuned. All right, y'all. So this past week was Independence Day. I hope you got your grill on. Hope you got your fireworks on. And it was also a day for everybody to kind of relax and take a chill pill so we're not fighting political battles all the time. But some people actually took that chance to go speak to our enemies. Now, mind you, I'm talking about Russia. And yes, Russia is our adversary right now. Russia annexed Crimea in 2014. They invaded a sovereign country and took a part of that country and called it their own. They have their own name for it. Russia runs state media about it. They basically say that that is part of their land. Also, they interfered in the 2016 elections. We know that they were flooding the internet with disinformation, fake news, bots and trolls online. We also don't know, as of yet, what's going to shake out with the Mueller investigation into the Trump campaign and possible collusion with Russia. Lastly, Russia's taken out quite a few attacks on people overseas. They prop up Assad in Syria, who dropped a chlorine bomb on his people not too long ago. And Putin also orchestrated a hit on a former Russian spy in the UK. And it seems, we don't have all the information on it yet, but as of late, 2 other people were sickened by that same chemical agent. So ask yourself, with all this going on, with Donald Trump looking to have a meeting with Putin, we don't necessarily know why though. He's going to a NATO summit first, which NATO are our allies, but he's making sure that he has this meeting with Putin. And not only that, there was this delegation of Republican senators that decided to go and have talks with some Russians during the 4th of July, for that matter. Now, when it comes to the conversations that they had, they told American media that they were going to go over there and they were going to say, we are going to tell Russia that elections are not to be interfered with, and we're going to tell them how we feel about the annexation of Crimea. Get in there. They came out, the Republican senators, Richard Shelby was among them, as a matter of fact, all you Alabama folks out there, said that, well, we went in there and it was real hard fought talks, and it was extremely, I don't know how you say it, there was tension in the room the whole time. Well, the Russian delegation comes out and says, oh, it was some of the easiest talks that we've ever had. The Americans came here, so it seems like they're willing to negotiate terms on the table. Now, why would they be saying that? I don't have the answers for that. What I do know is that the Republican committee that went there wasn't a foreign relations committee. It was an appropriations committee. Why would that be? We have no clue. But we do have one senator coming back from there, Senator Ron Johnson, saying that we should probably start looking into taking sanctions off of the table of Russia for annexing Crimea, because it hasn't stopped any of their activity ever since, and there's no reason that they should be put on them as of right now. Now mind you, the only reason we had those sanctions on Crimea was because they annexed another country into their land. So at this point in time, we're at a stalemate. You have a lot of Republican senators saying that we should be being tough on Russia. You have this group and this delegation coming back from Russia saying that we should start opening up talks more. It's just a little weird. And with this Trump and Putin summit coming up, I'm just going to see how much more weird things actually get. Stay tuned. Thank you everyone for tuning in this week. Video went a little long, but I needed to get that information out there to you. Some of the things that we talked about weren't necessarily seen on major news media. So find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter. Make sure you like and subscribe. Drop me some comments down below. I really want to know what you guys think when it comes to some of these developments that we've had here lately. Thank you, and next time I'll see you on NOBULL.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now.